Arcadian Vanguard presents the Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Wednesday, February 1st, 2023. Good morning. I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with international free agent news. Kota Ibushi has been announced for two GCW collective events set to take place during WrestleMania weekend in March. Announced on the company's Twitter page Tuesday morning, a promotional poster was posted noting the former star of New Japan Pro Wrestling and DDT would be a part of two GCW promoted events that weekend, Thursday, March 30th for Josh Barnett's Bloodsport show, and the second during the Joey Janela Spring Break 7 event the following day. As scheduled, March 30th would mark Ibushi's first match since dislocating his right shoulder during the October 21st, 2021 G1 final against Kazuchika Okada. Ibushi's injury forced the match to be stopped, with Okada awarded the victory. Ibushi's contract with New Japan Pro Wrestling, which he signed in 2019, expired at the end of January. The 40-year-old's latest run with New Japan Pro Wrestling had been marred by injuries, the pandemic, and highly publicized clashes with company management. Initially, reports indicated Ibushi's October 2021 shoulder injury would keep him away from the ring for only a few months, but Ibushi never returned. On May 10, 2022, through a series of tweets, Ibushi expressed frustrations with New Japan management, claiming the company tried to pressure him to return to the ring before he was ready, as well as threatening to reveal accusations of sexual harassment against management. Ibushi also revealed text conversations between himself and a New Japan official who threatened to fire him for not clearing an appearance that he made at a Taka Michinoku-produced independent show, and accusing Ibushi of trying to intentionally violate his contract in order to get fired. Less than 2 weeks later, Ibushi once again took to Twitter to claim his mother's attempted suicide, which had occurred on May 9th, was a result of depression and stress that she had taken on during her son's tense standoff with New Japan management. On May 27, 2022, New Japan Chairman Tadaki Kidani and company president Kami Obari held a press conference to address Ibushi's claims and apologizing to him. Days later, on June 6, New Japan issued a statement announcing the official Ibushi had clashed with had been reassigned and that Obari, the official, and Ibushi would all be docked 10% of their pay for 3 months. Turning to last night's television, NXT was broadcast live on the USA Network from the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. Chase U earned a spot in the Fatal 4-Way match for the NXT Tag Team title at the Vengeance State Premium Live event on February 4th by winning the New Day Invitational, a triple threat match also involving Malik Blade and Edris Enofe, and the Dyad.
Here we go, Vic.
Hudson with Chase. Freightliner connects. Cover. Chase U is headed to Charlotte.
Also on the show, former NXT UK wrestler Stevie Turner made her debut on the main NXT brand with a quick win over Danny Palmer. In other results, Zoe Stark pinned Indy Hartwell, Dijak pinned Von Wagner, Drew Gulak beat Charlie Dempsey, Tyler Bate beat Axiom, and Enda Shear went over the Creed brothers when Sangha pinned Julius Creed. In ratings news, after being delayed a day for still unknown reasons, ratings are in for last Friday's shows. WWE SmackDown on Fox notched its best 18 to 49-year-old demographic rating since December 25th, 2020, and finished with an average of 2.254 million viewers overall, up 13% from the week prior. According to WrestleNomics, the Royal Rumble Go Home edition led all of television, averaging a .67 amongst the 18 to 49-year-old audience, or approximately 878,000 viewers, up 22%. Later in the evening, AEW Rampage on TNT finished 22nd on cable, averaging 458,000 total viewers overall, with 187,000 viewers between 18 and 49, which equaled a .14 rating. The demo rating was up 11% according to WrestleNomics, while the overall number fell 1%. The pre-Royal Rumble success of SmackDown extended to Raw on Monday night as WWE scored 2.114 million viewers overall and a .64 rating in the 18 to 49-year-old demographic, or about 831,000 viewers according to WrestleNomics. Despite being down 10% in overall viewership, Raw was the most watched program amongst people 18 to 49 years old on all of television, broadcast, or cable, and doubled every other show on TV among men in the category. Turning to more AEW news, Kenny Omega is expected back at AEW TV tonight in Dayton, Ohio for Dynamite after sorting out work visa issues, according to a report from Dave Meltzer. The Canadian Omega has not appeared for AEW since the January 11th episode of Dynamite, on which the Elite won their Best of 7 series against the Death Triangle. In an update on Stone Cold Steve Austin's WrestleMania plans, Wrestling Observer Radio reported yesterday that Austin has turned down any in-ring participation for WrestleMania 39 in April. Austin had reportedly been offered matches with both Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar and was even given the option to wrestle any opponent of his choosing, but rejected all options. Whether Austin may still appear at WrestleMania in some other capacity besides a match is not yet known. In injury news, Nikita Lyons underwent successful knee surgery earlier this week, according to a Twitter post yesterday from the NXT performer. The injury could potentially keep her out of the ring for 6 to 9 months. Lyons reportedly sustained a torn ACL and meniscus, although it is not known when. She was written off TV with an injury angle on last week's episode of NXT. Lyons last wrestled on the January 20th episode of NXT Level Up, defeating Jakara Jackson. In National Wrestling Alliance news, AJ Kazana and Anthony Andrews, the team of the Country Gentlemen, captured the NWA United States Tag Team Championship yesterday from the Fixers, Wrecking Ball Legursky and Jay Bradley, on a live episode of NWA Power.
Oh no, control right now.
Suplex.
Threw him out of the ring.
Country Gentlemen in a lot of trouble right now in this
Tons
match.
of momentum there.
Both men.
Full head of steam. Oh, goes into the turnbuckle.
wait a minute.
Shoulders are down. Stacking him up. Oh, my God,
The winners of this match, and new NWA United States Champions, the Country Gentlemen!
The Country Gentlemen are the second holders of the newly revived NWA US Tag Team title, ending the Fixers' reign at just over 5 months. The Fixers won the title at the NWA 74th Anniversary show last August. Their reign was the longest for any major version of the title since the Steiner brothers held the NWA WCW version for 7.5 months from 1990 into 1991. In Impact Wrestling news, Dirty Dango, aka Curtis Hussey, better known as Fandango in WWE, has officially signed with Impact yesterday, according to a PW Insider report. The signing comes after Dango has had 3 matches for Impact this month, most recently a mixed tag team loss with Giselle Shaw against Josh Alexander and Mickie James at New Year's Revolution. Dango has been freelancing as an independent since being cut by WWE in June of 2021. Tasha Steelz has requested and been granted time off from Impact, according to PW Insider. The reason for the leave of absence and when she might return were not made public, although since she did not work the most recent TV tapings, she will not be seen on the next 4 weeks of TV at least. Steelz recently signed a new multi-year agreement with the company and has been wrestling there since 2020. In health-related news, a representative of Hulk Hogan's issued a statement on Hogan's physical condition yesterday on Entertainment Tonight, refuting comments made by Kurt Angle last weekend on his podcast. Angle detailed being told by Hogan backstage at the Raw 30th Anniversary show that he had had back surgery which removed all feeling from the waist down. The statement indicated that Hogan is doing well and clarified that he is not paralyzed. It also denied that Hogan cannot walk without the aid of a cane, which was another claim of Angle's. Said the statement, quote, "Everything is okay with him. Hulk is someone with a lot of humor," end quote, seeming to infer that Hogan was only kidding when he spoke to Angle. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the wrestling news. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.